Hello and welcome back everyone, we Weeb Online, and today I'm gonna continue the story What If Naruto Was Killed and Betrayed by Team 7 Part 2. If you enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and to watch more videos like this, subscribe to my channel and turn that bell notification on so you never miss an upload. Now wasting no more time, let's begin.
For the past few months, Kurama and Tozen had been training together. She did a good job of learning Teijuquin and Baguazhang, putting together the smooth, fast movements of Teijuquin and the smooth, flowing movements of Baguazhang, basically making a sort of hybrid. Tozen also taught Kurama Kenpo, freestyle jujitsu, and street-style karate, giving her a big boost in a lot of different hand-to-hand combat tactics and techniques. Sobai made her meditate for days on end, telling her that a martial artist uses more than just their hands. They also use their minds. If she knew what was going on, she would be better able to control her mind and protect herself from the Tsukayomi and Kadomatsukami of the Uchiha clan, saying that the goal of both jutsus is to strike at the mind and spirit. If someone has a strong will, they can resist or even stop the effects of both jutsus. The receiver in question would be able to add a mental layer that could stop Kadomatsukami from controlling his mind. For the next 5 months, this kept happening. During her last month of training in the tower's training chambers, she had to fight against shadow clones of Sobai and Tozen that had been made stronger. Her fighting skills had come a long way. She can now fight on equal terms with Tozen. Sobai and Tozen were happy with her progress. All of her training in martial arts and meditation gave her the physical and mental discipline she needed to fight Uchiha clansmen. This was a time of romance and love for Tozen and Kurama, as they spent time together and got closer as lovers. Tozen wants to ask her to marry him, but he will wait and see first. He had secretly gone to a blacksmith to have a set of armor made for her that would help her in the future. He put the finishing touches on the armor and did some of the metal work himself. Kurama and Tozen went on many adventures together, fighting missing nin, demons, assassins, rogue samurai, and outlaws. The two of them became known as the Wild Duo. A pair of Hitakiri samurai work as independent mercenaries for villages that can't defend themselves and don't have enough money to hire ninjas. They are only paid in resources. If they ever do jobs for noblemen and daimyos, they will get half of the money right away, and the other half later. They have shown that they are more than just a force to be reckoned with in battle. At the moment, Tozen and Kurama are in bed at an inn, naked and cuddled up together. Tozen is holding Kurama in his arms after a long, passionate sex session. They had just killed the head priest of the Kurayami Ariansu and stopped him from reviving Nobunaga the Soul Eater, an elite Oni warrior. Tozen asked Kurama-chan, "So, how are you enjoying your freedom?" As Kurama leans in to kiss Tozen, she says, "It feels like a dream come true, and I never want to wake up." "If that's the case, let's go another round so you can enjoy your freedom even more," says Tozen as he leans in to kiss Kurama. Him and Kurama were going to make passionate love again. When Tozen thrusts her, she screams out in pleasure. As Kurama rode Tozen, she thought, "I could get used to this." The following morning, Tozen and Kurama go get the money from their most recent job, which was to kill the head priest of a chapter of the Kurayami Ariansu, who had been stealing young girls from nearby villages for a big sacrifice. He didn't know that 2 samurai assassins were coming for him until it was too late. Tozen then took Kurama to a clean roadside and got down on one knee. Kurama asked Tozen-kun, "What's this?" She was scared and excited at the same time, as if something big was about to happen that would change her life. "Kurama-heim, you have brought me joy and peace for the past few months. Ever since my lover Chiyoko died, I thought I would never love another woman again. That is until I met you. At first, I thought you were an enemy with the enemy force, but that is until I started to talk to you, seeing you have a noble and fiery spirit." Kurama is in shock and amazement. A man who didn't care that she used to be a beast with tails. He realized that she was neither an animal with a tail nor a human woman who saved him. Instead, she was a free spirit who had been enslaved and left alone. She said the one thing that any woman in her situation would say, yes. Then she jumped into Tozen's arms and kissed him deeply. She pulls away from the kiss and asks Kurama, "When is the wedding?" Tozen smiles and says, "I'm still making plans, but I think I need to invite 2 specific people." Kurama asked, "Who are they?" "Tsunade Senju and Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze," said Tozen, while Kurama was a little surprised but thought it would be right. The best chance of burying the axe would be for the last living descendant of Hashirama and Maido to be a bridesmaid and for her last jailer to be made best man. She talks about the idea until she realizes one thing about it. "But I thought Naruto was dead." His teacher Kakashi and his betrayal-prone teammates killed him, right? Asked a confused Kurama. No, he's still alive. It looks like heaven brought him back, too. Tozen showed Kurama the latest addition to the bingo book as he answered. Naruto's skills in Taijutsu, Genjutsu, Shuriken Jutsu, and Kenjutsu range from a B to a high A, but his armor is strangely made. With an AA+ in sealing techniques, Hyuga has put a price of 12 million ryo on his head. She is getting a lot of surprises today. As she reads the page, Tozen says, "Oh, I also have an early wedding gift for you." He then shows her the ring. Kurama is amazed by how it was made. It was carved with a fox. Kurama gives Tozen a tight hug and says, "Oh, Tozen, you honor me with this ring and how it looks." Tozen said, "Oh, that's not the present. Kurama, send chakra to your ring." As Kurama did this, the armor he had been working on was shown. She was wearing dark silver shin and arm guards, a chest guard that matched her cup size, a pauldron for her shoulder, and black pants with silver lines. She was wearing a metal headband with the symbols of the Senju and Uzumaki clans on it. As Kurama looks in a mirror and sees the beautiful armor, she is really having a day to remember. Tozen has a feeling that the future with her will be a great journey, an experience that he will want to have and remember forever. 2 weeks later, the base camp for the Special Operations Group in Bear Country. Tozen and Kurama were hired by Bear's daimyo to lead a highly trained but inexperienced battalion of samurai army rangers and a rocket team to attack the Fortress of Ruin, which is where the forces of a breakaway sect of the Kurayami Ariansushi no Ishidao are hiding. This would drive them away and give the Samurai Army Rangers some combat experience for future missions. With the battalion commander of the Rangers and the commander of the rocket operators, they are making plans to attack the river fortress of Marauders. Listen up, all you newbies. Me and my dear friend Haim will be checking out this fortress's defenses at night, so you should get a lot of rest and make sure your weapons are ready. Remember to cook without making a lot of smoke. We don't want to give away our location," said Tozen as he and Kurama got into a small stealth boat and went off into the night. They started to row towards the fortress while it was dark, avoiding the spotlights and guards of the fortress while rowing towards the blind side of the fortress. They got out their climbing claws and started climbing the walls stealthily, and thinking of making an alpine compound in the mountains of Fire Country. Tozen whispered, "I need to buy some land for the compound, so after this I'll figure out where we can build it." The two made it to the top of the fortress, where they saw demons guarding a strange metallic door. As they tried to find and destroy any of the castle's hidden defenses, they heard shouting and arguing in a room ahead of them. They looked through a window to see two men arguing. One was a man with long black hair, pale skin, golden eyes, and slit pupils. He was Orochimaru Reneg. "Our deal is still good, Orochimaru. I won't attack Konoha as long as you don't get in the way of my orders. But if you get in our way, there will be war between our two groups," the strong man said as the Snake Sage gave him a look. "We, too, will stick to the deal, Komodo. What should be done about this avenging angel?" Orochimaru asked. "I've heard that boy Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze has been tearing through your original predecessor's order numbers with Tamashi. Leave them to Yamada, he'll take care of them," Komodo said as he pointed to an armored warrior with a weapon that makes Zabuza's sword and Kasama's Samahara look like butter knives. He wears a horned war helmet and cuts through 6 prisoners with a single stroke of his huge sword. He also kills 2 burly-looking men with his bare hands. Orochimaru leaves the room. Kurama and Tozen jump toward the ceiling to hide from the Sannin. Tozen whispered to Kurama as she looked at the damage Yamada had done. "It looks like your old container is going to have a real opponent in Yamada after all." Kurama was looking at the damage Yamada had done. Kurama thought, "Naruto-kun, I hope you're ready for a fight to the death with this enemy," as she and Tozen went to destroy some of the hidden weapons in the fortress. The two lovers sneak out of the fortress and back to their boat after getting the information they need and disabling the hidden weapons. The next day is going to be chaos. In the coast of Fire Country, inside a tower fortress, 2 figures are playing near the dead bodies of the warriors of the Kurayami Ariansu order. One has what looks like a bright white human-like Anbu mask, bright silver hair, a trench coat with claw marks, and its Tsurugi sword right next to him. The other has golden hair, strange armor, and a sword that looks like the one the masked figure has. They are Tamashi elite Anbu and veteran guardian warriors. In front of him is his new partner, Naruto Uzumaki, Konoha's avenging angel, and a new guardian recruit. "So, Naruto, how are you doing now that you're a guardian?" asks Tamashi as he throws a card. "Pretty good, but I still have to get used to fighting demons. But hey, if you're an angelic being fighting a creature with demonic roots, that's just how it goes. But when they fight, do they have to stab me in the leg?" Naruto said as he took a knife out of his leg. Get used to it, because you're going to run into more than just demons, says Tamashi as he points to the body of a werewolf whose wounds are quickly healing. More importantly, I need to fix that leak in Konoha. I can't let my friends die because of leaked information and that power-hungry warhawk, Naruto thought as he threw a card down. Hey Naruto, you must be glad that your teammates who were bitten by snakes got theirs right. Tamashi said, yeah, but I'm disappointed that Sakura's parents did that to her without thinking about how she felt or what she needed, Naruto says as he remembers Team 7's trail. Flashback to the Konoha courtrooms. A lot of Konoha's ninjas who weren't on duty were sitting down and waiting for the trial to start. Okay, everyone needs to sit down, said an Anbunin called Wildcat. As soon as everyone was seated, Hiruzen said, thank you, Yamaniko. Court is in session. The judges are Tsume and Yuzuka, Choza Akamichi, Inoichi Yamanaka, and Hiruzen Sarutobai, who is the head judge of the court. Hiruzen said, bring in the accused. The Anbu guard brought in Kakashi Hadake and Sasuke Uchiha, who looked like they had been raped in their cell by a group of sodomites because their clothes were so torn. You both have been found guilty of murder, Kakashi Hadake and Sasuke Uchiha. The third Hokage asked, how do you plead? Not guilty, Hokage-sama, said Kakashi. Yeah, not guilty, you old jerk, said the Kaki Uchiha, making the old warrior and the other judges frown. Choza looks at the Uchiha boy who laughs at the word superior officer and says, watch your mouth, boy. You're talking to a higher ranking officer. You are not better than me. You are nothing more than peasants compared to Uchiha greatness, Sasuke told the other judges. This made the other judges angry. But then a voice said, you say you're better than them, but all I hear is a boy trying to act like a man. When everyone turned to see where the voice came from, they saw a figure come back to life. They thought it was the Yondaime, but it was actually the Yondaime's son, Naruto. Some of the girls have hearts in their eyes when they see the blonde Adonis walking towards the plaintiff's seat. 3 of them look at him in wonder. One girl was a platinum blonde with light blue eyes, wearing a purple blouse and apron skirt that showed off her toned midriff with mesh armor underneath. She is Ino Yamanaka Konoha's resident gossip and used to be Sasuke Uchiha's number 2 fangirl. She didn't believe it until she asked her father, who told her that Sasuke, the Uchiha prince, had killed Naruto Uzumaki, the Leaf's toughest ninja. Her father also told her that Naruto had become an avenging angel, a superhuman warrior with angelic powers. She wears her brown hair in a neat ponytail and has regular eyes without slits. She wears a Chunin flak jacket that shows the cleavage of her breasts and cargo shorts that come just above her knees. She is the daughter of Tsume and Yuzuka, the veterinarian of Konoha, and a highly skilled Chunin rank tracker. She is accompanied by her Ninken partners, the Heimaru triplets, who are some. You say that you and your clan are great, even though your clan is proud of the fact that you steal jutsu. Itachi, Mikoto Bakken, and Kenshin, Madara's big brother, are the only ones who have ever had any power of their own. They are the most powerful people in the Uchiha clan. The rest of the clan didn't have any real originality or strength. Instead of working hard to get power, they just took it. Naruto said, living off of other people like a parasite, which made Sasuke shake with anger. You common people don't know anything about power or genius. Kami has picked me to bring the Uchiha clan back together. Not those jerks Itachi and Kenshin, but me. Not that bit, Sasuke started to say, but Naruto flashed over and cut him in the throat, making him stop talking for now. Naruto then flashed back to his seat so the tribunal could go on. We have looked at the evidence and heard what the person you killed said. For anyone who didn't know, the man in front of you is not the Yondaime Hokage, but his son, whom some of you had been trying to kill. Everyone, meet Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, the Avenging Angel. He is the son of Kushina Uzumaki and Minato Namikaze, who were killed by Team 7. He's lucky that the gods made him into what he is now. The third Hokage said, an avenging angel. Everyone in the room was shocked and didn't believe him at first. But then Naruto took out the scroll and showed them his dead body. He then sealed the corpse so it could be buried later. Let's move on to the court now, shall we? Now, Naruto, could you explain how Kakashi, Sasuke, and Sakura killed you? You might be wondering where Sakura is, Hiruzen said, as everyone looked around for the pink girl. Well, what happened to Sakura Jiji? Naruto asked, as he and everyone else were also curious. Well, it looks like she killed you because she was brainwashed and had a seal put on her head that erased her memories. This probably surprised you because it showed a side of her that was more butch than straight and narrow. Lucky for us, though, a lot of the Haruno clan had been kicked out of both Konoha and Fire Country for trying to steal from 2 clans, abusing children, and using them as sex slaves, said Hiruzen, as everyone was shocked by what a lot of the well-known clan of spies had done. Over the next few hours, the courtroom looked at the evidence of Naruto's brutal murder and the plot behind it. Hiruzen also told everyone that Sasuke isn't the last Uchiha in the village. He said that some of the females had gone into hiding because they were afraid of attacks on their families. Some still see him as a demon and a violation of their religious beliefs. They leave the courtroom in a rage. Okay, Kakashi, we've gone over the crimes you and Sasuke have done. You are accused of willingly letting your team down, killing someone, and plotting to kill someone. I will take away your shinobi status and citizenship and send you to blood prison. Your jutsu library will be given to the Chunin and Jonin library according to the rank of your jutsu, and your memory will be sealed of any security protocols. And as for you, Sasuke Uchiha, your clan heir status is hereby revoked, and you will have a large amount of semen and blood taken to be used to rebirth your clan in the right environment. Your bloodline will be permanent. The Anbu knocks him out and drags him and Kakashi away to their deaths. End of flashback. Naruto and Tamashi had their shadow clones look for important information and weapons while they set explosive tags on the tower's columns to make it fall in on itself. They set the tags to go off a few minutes after they left, so they could watch the fireworks. Naruto and Tamashi used their built-in wingsuits to jump off the tower and land on the ground. They stick the landing and turn around to scream at the enemy. In the mountains of Snow Country, somewhere else in the elemental nations, the 10 warriors who killed the Snow Ninja are standing over the only survivor. They look like they are wearing shamanistic battle dress with moccasin-like combat boots, tribal-looking bracers, and headbands. Tell your cage that the Seirei no Senshi clan is not to be messed with. But first, send him this message, said a man with long white hair and a handsome face. Do it, he said as he told 2 of his warriors to cut off the heads of dead shinobi and put them in a box. Take this back to your leader and tell him how each and every one of them is going to die. Return to Kurama. Kurama and Tozen go back to the base camp to plan an attack on the fortress. When they get there, the Rangers and Rocket Team are getting ready to go into action. Perfect for an attack before dawn. All we have to do is hit this fortress from the side it can't see. Me, Kurama, and a small group of Rangers will climb up the wall on their blind side. While we do this, the Rocket Team will move into place and wait for the signal to attack. When I give the signal, fire the rockets at the fortress, Tozen says. The commanders nod in agreement. Now, does anyone have any questions? Tozen asks, but no one answers. Okay, dismissed, he says as they get ready for the attack. We are to hit fast and hit hard to drive them out of the fortress. Remember to check and tie up any member who gives up. Tozen said, don't take any chances. Tozen, Kurama, and the small group of Rangers moved toward the blind side of the fortress to scale it. While they were doing this, the Rocket Team moved into place to fire a barrage of rockets at the fortress. Tozen and his group make it to the top without being seen. They kill some sentries before they can raise the alarm. Tozen shoots a flare so they can start the attack. As soon as he does, the fortress is hit with a bunch of rockets, and everything goes crazy. The warriors get their cannons and weapons, and the demons and regular warriors arm themselves and go out to meet the enemy on the battlefield. As soon as the cannon crews are ready to fire, the cannons explode, killing some of the key threats to the Rangers battalion. But not all of them. Tozen and his party started making trouble for the enemy by attacking any enemy group they could find. On the battlefield, the Rangers are earning their place. Inside the fortress, a mysterious metal door opens to reveal 2 mechanical warriors, each holding an O-katana in both hands and moving toward the fighting to do its job. Komodo is in the control room to check out what's going on. Progress report. Komodo asked, what's going on? In the tone of a warrior general. One of his lieutenants told him, Sir, we are under attack from the outside and the inside. Tell everyone who is important to leave, take as many resources with them as they can, and leave the rest. Komodo said, tell them to move toward the escape tunnels. Yes, sir. The lieutenants asked, but what about our troops, sir? Leave them alone, said Komodo as the lieutenants began giving orders. They'll keep the enemy busy long enough for us to get away. Lieutenant, sir, there are 2 intruders moving around inside the fortress, as he shows video feed of Tozen and Kurama fighting together against Rakshasa and Oni. Tozen Senju, and I see that he has brought Kurama Uzumaki. I will fight them in battle. You 2 wait for me at the entrance to the escape tunnel, and a team of people ready to blow up the building are ready to go. Back to the war zones. As 2 warriors run amok, some of the Rangers are getting beaten back. That is, until one Ranger drops a stone tower on the metal bruisers with the help of a well-placed impact grenade. Getting rid of them, the Rangers start going from room to kill enemies wherever they are. Outside the fortress, the Ranger battalion of samurai are pushing back the demons while killing any that are still fighting. Even a warrior from the demon world knows when to run away. As they stop fighting, they head in the direction of where their leader will meet them. Inside the fortress again, Kurama and Tozen are getting closer to the inside of the fortress. As they try to move away from it, they run into a fight platform. Komodo is revealed when a shadowy figure jumps away from the seal and pulls out a sword. Oh, Kurama Uzumaki and Tozen Senju, the wild couple. What are you two doing here? Komodo says as he gets into his fighting stance. Not much, King Komodo. Your order and its forces are just being driven out of Bear Country. Is there a problem? Said Tozen as he and Kurama got into their fighting positions. Kurama pulled out her wind and fire blades, and Tozen took out his katana. Yes, I do mind. I just found this nice abandoned fortress, and I would have liked to keep it a secret, Komodo said as he began a fierce battle with the couple. Tozen and Kurama are a strong team in battle, but they are fighting King Komodo, who is a very strong opponent who can stand toe-to-toe with Orochimaru in a sword fight and not get hit by the more flexible man. They are not going to move for the next few minutes to almost 2 hours. Both sides are hitting hard and fast, and they are always trading blows with each other. It's a fair fight between two equal sides. Komodo throws shurikens at the couple. One of them hits Kurama and cuts her leg deeply. Komodo then stabs Tozen in the side with a dagger, but not before Tozen hit Komodo in the face with his fist, breaking his nose and knocking him down. Kurama then hits Komodo with a leg sweep, which sends him to the ground. But Komodo takes the hit in stride and gets back up to fight. The two then start fighting back with more force. With fresh energy, their attacks are stronger and move faster. Komodo is having a hard time getting away from them all. Kurama and Tozen are able to push the cult warrior leader back, but as soon as they do, he drops a smoke bomb and leaves the room. Now that he's gone, what should we do? Kurama asks as she heals from the shuriken hit to her leg. Don't worry about it. Komodo got off easy. Let's go, Tozen says as he pulls the dagger out of his side and walks upstairs with Kurama right by his side. Several miles away from the fortress, Komodo shows up where the demolition team is. Blow the tunnel quickly, he tells them as they set the explosive tags. A doctor comes to help him with his nose. Yamada, the mission in Konoha should go exactly as planned, Komodo says as Yamada nods his head. As Komodo walks away, Yamada says in a dark voice, "Yes, master, it will be done." Inside the Namikaze neighborhood, Haku and Naruto are training together. They are dancing around to show off how good they are at close combat. Naruto had just returned from another long mission to destroy the Kurayami Ariansu's forces. He decides to work out and take it easy. Haku was at home, and she had asked Naruto for help with a style of taijutsu called White Tiger Kumite that she had found in Tsunade's notes. The form itself looked like a mix of Juken and Goken. It used strong, precise attacks to either break through the opponent's guard or smash it with measured brute force, along with personal street fighting techniques and grappling. So far, it looks like Haku can grapple and throw just as quickly as Naruto. Thanks for the fight, Haku-chan. It's nice to fight with someone as flexible as you, Naruto says to Haku, who blushes at the compliment. Haku says as she kisses Naruto, "You are such a charmer, Naruto-kun." Getting intimate with him, Haku said, "Let's go a few more rounds," as she and Naruto wrestled again after breaking up the kiss. Naruto is running around the village 40 times in a striped navy blue gi. Guardian Command and the Hokage himself gave him a 5-month break from active missions so he could study for the Chunin exams. Naruto had been practicing his fighting moves and the jutsu he had learned in heaven for 4 hours. Naruto remembered that Tamashi had told him how to deal with demons, saying that they often fight on instinct and don't have a real battle plan, leaving holes in their defenses where they can be attacked. So, Naruto had been practicing his refined brawler fighting style for the last couple of weeks so he could deal with a wider range of enemies, including demons and other monsters. He also learned how to use the Kiba no Tengu with the help of Zabuza, Nico, and Hayate, who is in love with Nico. Zabuza, Nico, and Hayate also helped him get better at using his long sword, which made him very good at it. Hayate and Nico were glad that Naruto also showed them this sword. They were all curious about what other weapons Naruto had. Naruto told them that the weapons in his arsenal came from different human cultures where the warriors who trained him lived, telling them about each sword, axe, spear, and halberd, in addition to the bows and arrows he has. Naruto had done all 40 of his laps. He wipes the sweat off of himself and does some light stretches to loosen up his body. Before he can do anything else, he hears Naruto Nai-san, and turns to see Konohamaru, his student and spiritual brother, along with 2 other kids. One was a girl with orange hair that was pulled back into pigtails. She wore a purple vest over a violet shirt, a layered skirt, and boots that came up to her knees. The other person looked like a boy with short brown hair and glasses. He wore a black jacket with a zipper and sandals that shinobi wear. with a bad case of snot coming out too much. "Hey Konohamaru, it's good to see you again. Who are your friends?" Naruto asked as he walked up to the one with the snot problem in the easy of the greatest doctor. Naruto fixed the boy's snot glands by sending some of his Hammond to fix his snot gland production limiters and wipe the boy's nose with a tissue. "Thanks, sir. My name is Udon Eyes," the now known Udon said. Mogi said, "My name is Mogi Kazumatsuri, and I'm one of the most beautiful up-and-coming Kunoichi in Konoha." Naruto smiled at the girl's determination. Naruto smiled and asked Konohamaru, "So, what brings you and your friends here?" Konohamaru pulls out a scroll and gives it to the figure of his older brother, who reads it. "So, Abisu got hurt on a stealth mission, huh, and can't do his job. Don't worry, little buddy, I'll teach you," Naruto said in a soothing voice. "That's great, Naruto Nyai-san," said Konohamaru. "What are we going to train in?" "That depends on what Abisu planned for your team's lessons," Naruto said as Mogi took a step toward the blonde angel. Mogi, Konohamaru, and Udon were looking at Naruto when Mogi asked, "Is it true that you're an avenging angel?" "Yes, I'm an avenging angel," Naruto said, giving her a shocked and amazed look. "I always thought those rumors were nothing more than rumors," Konohamaru thinks as he looks at the figure of his brother. Before anything could happen, they heard a cry of Naruto. They turned to see a girl walk up to them. She has mint green hair and tan skin, and her outfit is a sleeveless shirt over mesh armor that shows off her toned midriff, cargo pants, and shinobi sandals. "Aw, Fu-chan, how's your day been?" Naruto asks as Fu comes up to kiss him, which makes the young ninja scouts look pretty good, darling. "In 5 months, the Hokage will make me a messenger ninja, and I was hoping you could show me some of your skills," Fu says with puppy dog eyes. "I'd be happy to, Fu-chan, but I also have to train Konohamaru and his friends in martial arts," Naruto told Fu as she looked at the group of young teens who were staring at her in awe. Mogi was looking at Fu with inspiration in her eyes. Fu looked at them in a way that made her happy that her fiancé was teaching them. Fu said, "Why don't we all train together?" Naruto thinks it would be a good idea because he wouldn't have to train each of them separately. So why not teach Fu and the others jutsu and martial arts? Naruto said, "Okay, I'll train you for the next 4 months. Konohamaru core, I'm not going to be easy on you, so pay attention and stay focused." The group nodded in agreement. Naruto told the group, "Okay, welcome to the Uzumaki School of Anything Goes Street Fighting. Everyone, I expect you to do your best," and they all look determined. As the groups head back to their homes to get ready for the tough training, they are watching. A figure in a robe looks on from a nearby hill. "Soon, avenging angel, you'll meet your equal. Soon, you'll meet Yamada, the dark samurai horseman of Shinoishi Daohu." Who whispered this to Shinoishi Daohu. As he keeps a careful eye on his target, he is thinking like a predator. 4 months have passed. Naruto had trained Fu and the Konohamaru Corps to fight in depth and for a long time. Naruto had taught them a lot about Tekken, an academy style of taijutsu, with the help of Iruka and boxing. Fu and the others were confused at first about why they had to learn these styles. Naruto had said that they are important to the basics of hand-to-hand fighting, especially when it comes to footwork, accuracy, and timing. He then taught the group more advanced styles. For example, he taught the girls Fanzikun, a style of kung fu that focuses on using your hands to defend and attack while making good use of your speed and striking power, as well as close combat judo, which is known for being flexible and quick, increasing and improving their ability to fight without weapons against any opponent. Fu also got a kanjar knife from Naruto. He told her that it was originally a weapon used by merchants, spies, and desert assassins. He also told her that he made the one he gave her less obvious than the others so she could hide it better. On the other hand, the boys had been trained in a different set of styles. Konohamaru had learned Pao Chunin and Shotokan karate. He got much better at Monkey Fist, which gave him a better balance of speed and strength. Udon learned Kenpo and Bartitsu, a more advanced style that Drake had taught Naruto, giving him a powerful and effective way to fight in close quarters. Naruto also taught them how to use weapons and jutsus. Naruto taught Fu how to use a bow and arrow. She explained that since Chomai gave her the ability to fly, she can use this as an advantage for her long-range tactics. She could use this to not only get away, but also use the bow and arrow to fight people who are only good at fighting up close. He also taught her fire and water jutsu, which made her deadly against any attackers she might meet on her travels. Naruto taught the Konohamaru Corps how to use weapons and jutsu that fit their roles. Naruto also taught Konohamaru how to use Bijutsu under the watchful eye of the Hokage, who knew how to get through the hell that is paperwork. Naruto also taught Konohamaru Eskrima, which taught him how to fight with sticks and blades. He also taught him fire, water, and earth jutsus so that he could be the best close combat fighter on his team. Mogi, Naruto had taught her how to use the Sai and how to use water and wind jutsus. This made her a well-rounded aggressive defensive and offensive combat medic who could kill enemies up close. Yudon had been trained to use both a crossbow and a combat knife at the same time, which helped him do his job as long-range support. He also added to his skills by learning wind jutsu from Naruto. After each session, Naruto also trained himself to improve his own fighting skills and techniques. He was working on his fighting skills, jutsus, and strategies. His skills and strategies got much better, and he got so good at his jutsu that he could do one-handed signs. He trained and worked on his fighting style with and without weapons so that he could be both defensive and offensive. Naruto is learning how to fight at night with the rest of the team right now, in a blindfolded battle between 4 and 1. Naruto is in the middle holding a pugil stick. His friends are all around him, each in a different fighting stance that shows how well they've learned to fight. They all charge at him, showing off the styles they learned from Naruto's martial arts lessons. Yudon's more grounded weapon style used better weapon control, a wide range of techniques, and great footwork to keep Naruto in check. Konohamaru's weapon style, which was similar to Yudon's but more like the Sarutobi clan's weapon style, used acrobatics to attack. Mogi and Fu sneak up on him and hit him with a stick-ball combo, knocking him into a few trees. He gets up and goes on the attack, but all 4 of his attacks are quickly dodged. Naruto does a cartwheel to avoid a strike from both Yudon and Fu at the same time, but he can't do anything when Konohamaru and Mogi both drop kick him at the same time. They use their weapons to kill him. Naruto takes off his eye patch and says, "Okay, you're ready for anything, but don't forget to train every day." Fu jumps onto his lap and gives him a passionate kiss. When they stop kissing, Fu takes off her blindfold and says, "Well, darling, it looks like you gave us what we needed. I thank you for our gifts." The Konohamaru Corps also takes off their blindfolds and bows to thank Naruto for his lessons. The group then walks to lunch at Ikaraku Ramen. When Naruto eats at their stall, he can still remember that day. After Team 7 was broken up, the test for Kakashi and Sasuke. Think back to 6 months ago. Naruto went into the Ikaraku Ramen shop to get some ramen. Ayame, who was working behind the counter, looked up to greet the customer who came in until she saw him. When she sees the handsome blonde, she starts to blush, but she doesn't know it's Naruto. She then asks, "What would you like to order?" "The usual, Ayame-chan," says Naruto. Ayame is confused and asks, "Who are you? And how do you know my name?" The handsome blonde in front of her is a little creepy. Naruto said, "I'm Naruto Uzumaki," and Ayame was shocked to hear this. Ayame said, "There's no way you're my Nyai-chan." "Prove it." Naruto got close to her and whispered something in her ear. It made her blush because he told her a secret that she had only told one person. "Naruto, what happened to you is you," says Ayame, looking at the blonde with shock and wonder. Kyuchai Ikaraku walks up to the front of his stall and asks Ayame, "What's with all the noise?" Ikaraku sees Naruto, and right next to him is the ghost of the Yondaime. Ikaraku said, "Okay, this has to be good," as he got ready to hear what he had to say. End of flashback. Since then, Naruto had told the Ikaraku family what happened to him in Wave Country, how he became an avenging angel, and how he was trained by some of the best warriors in the history of the art of war. They were amazed and shocked by the way Naruto's teammates killed him and turned him into an avenging angel. He also told them how a clansman, another Jinchuriki, and 2 bloodline users helped him find love. He also told them that a lot of the Haruno clan had been kicked out of the village because they turned Sakura into a sex slave by brainwashing her. At the moment, everyone is eating and laughing and having a good time. Fu and Naruto kiss for a short time before he hears, "Hey Naruto, we haven't seen you in a long time," a woman's voice said. Naruto turns around and sees Sakura with a ponytail and dressed like a real kunoichi. She has a very attractive bust that ranges from a C to a C+ cup and a very fit body. With her is a girl with long, beautiful brown hair who is wearing a dark violet dress that is both practical for battle and stylish for a civilian girl. She had a body and build like Sakura's, but with a bigger bust and more speed. "Hey, Sakura, how are you doing? Who's your friend?" Naruto asks as he points to the girl next to her. "Oh, this is Akira Yashimatsu, my partner in the Intelligence Corps. She's a top-notch kunoichi and an expert in Taijutsu and Bukijutsu," Sakura said, causing Akira to blush a little. "Hey Naruto, Nai-chan, how come you and Sakura are friends when she helped kill you?" asked Konohamaru. Everyone, except Sakura, looked at him strangely. Naruto answered, "I don't hold a grudge against Sakura because she was just as much of a victim as I was, being turned into a breeding stock and a mindless fangirl." Everyone in the room gave him a respectful nod. That's a good trait to have, Uzumaki. I hope to work with you someday, Akira told Naruto as the kunoichi in front of her praised him. So, Sakura, you're mad at your parents? Ayame asked as she looked at her. Everyone in the stall nodded in agreement when Sakura said, you're damn right, I am. I just hope those pieces of crap for parents are dead. So, are you sad about the Uchiha? Naruto asked. No, I just hope he gets milk like the power-hungry jerk he is. I hope Kakashi doesn't drop the soap, said Sakura as everyone laughed at the last part of the comment. Everyone then told each other what had been going on with them. Sakura said that her clan had kicked out those who were part of the plan to turn her into a sex slave against her will. She also said that her clan had formed a new council that checks the power of both the elders and the clan head. Akira said that her clan focuses on training its members to be well-rounded fighters. As he talked, a girl with brown hair and lavender eyes wearing a light yellow kimono with light violet painted textures listened in. She heard the blonde talk about how important it is to be creative and personalize your fighting style, and how sticking too closely to tradition and form can kill many people on the battlefield. The Hyuga girl introduces herself and asks the angelic blonde, is that so? Naruto looks at the young Hyuga girl and says, yes, change is an important part of any kind of martial art. Even modern styles that keep the principles of traditional styles. By the way, miss, I'd like to know your name, Naruto said as the girl looked at him with a serious face. Hanabi Hyuga is Hinata Hyuga's sister. Hanabi said, I already know who you are, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, as she bowed to him. Hanabi had been listening to Naruto talk about the importance of personalization and innovation. He said that both are needed to overcome the weaknesses of one's chosen martial form in battle if one relies too much on one's bloodline. He pointed out that the Hyuga clan's own form in battle is only good for a small area. At first, Hanabi didn't agree with this, thinking that it was a weakness and a deviation from the style. Mogi does a quick somersault right behind the Hyuga heiress and lands a leg sweep on the Hyuga fighting princess, knocking her to the ground. Hanabi is surprised and a little annoyed that she lost to a common kunoichi who should be below her in fighting ability. Naruto then teaches her about real fighting and how anything goes in battle. He tells her that she has a lot of skill and talent, but that doesn't matter on the battlefield. To show her how important personalization is, he pours a bottle of water out in front of her and tells her that the water represents the essence of Gentle Fist and the bottle represents its set mold. He says that Gentle Fist is only at its best when it goes beyond its set mold. Hanabi thinks about the lecture she just heard. She gets up and bows to Mogi, feeling very humbled by what she heard. The group then goes their separate ways, with Naruto and Fu taking Hanabi home. At the same time, a figure in black armor follows Konohamaru as he walks home. Just as Konohamaru gets close to his house, he is grabbed by a blur, who then throws a kunai with a note on it. Hanabi started talking about how the Hyuga Elder Council is very creepy and cold when someone like Naruto talks about over-adherence and innovation, saying that it's nothing but fools talking. But no one says anything about it, and those who do just disappear, with the branch Hyuga being the most common because they've been mistreated the most. Naruto thinks there's something off about the Hyuga Elder Council because he thinks they're a lot like the Spartans, who beat and killed their slaves to improve and test their fighting skills. Naruto is glad that Richard the Lionheart taught him about the history of a society that was similar to Richard's. So, Naruto, what style of martial arts do you practice? Asked Hanabi as she and Fu looked at him with interest. Fu had never really gotten a good answer from Naruto about his martial arts and fighting style. She had seen him practice the forms he knew, but she had never had the chance to ask him about them. Well, Hanabi, to answer your question, my style of fighting is a mix of brawling, street fighting, martial arts, and spirituality. At first, I didn't have a clear fighting style. I fought mostly on instinct and natural ability, which made me a brawler and street fighter. But what I didn't have was good technique and control. I worked hard and quickly to make up. I was higher than the average genin without a clan, but lower than Sasuke Uchiha and many clan heirs. I plan to retrain in taijutsu and battle tactics after the wave mission, and maybe learn some more jutsus. But when I died, that plan changed a lot. But when I got the chance to be an avenging angel, I took it. It was the start of a dream come true for any new soldier. When it came to individual combat, the masters who trained me gave me a sharp and polished edge, as well as getting better at ninjutsu. Naruto said, he taught me fighting forms and spiritual techniques that changed my brawler and street fighter style into a style that made me a martial artist in spirit and mind. Fu and Hanabi were amazed as they walked toward Hanabi's house. In other parts of the Hidden Leaf, Tamashi has been seen practicing his Windstorm Fist and Avenger Sword stance over the past few months. Tamashi has also been thinking about how he and Naruto are similar in that they are both resurrected warriors. Naruto through divine intervention and Tamashi through twisted science that turned his skin blue and gave him incredible physical fighting ability. Think about the Namikaze compound. Tamashi and Naruto are sparring on the training field. They are both surprised by how physically equal they are, even though Tamashi has more experience. Tamashi is also surprised by the type of sword Naruto is using. He has seen the double-edged sword Kusanagi of Orochimaru, but it was made for quick cuts, slashes, and thrusts. This sword was made for two-handed heavy blade work. So, Tamashi-sama, tell me about yourself, Naruto said as he jumped back to block Tamashi's swing. Well, to tell you something about myself, Tamashi says, I'm like you in that we're both going to meet our maker, as he throws a roundhouse kick that Naruto avoids. Naruto is surprised to learn that he and Tamashi are two resurrected ninja who came back to life. He asks the man in front of him, are you also an avenging angel? No, I'm just an enhanced resurrected warrior like you, but I'm not an angelic warrior like you. I'm superhuman through the means of twisted science that involve the gutless coward Orochimaru, who used me as he would have kept going until the old man found out about his work and ran away from the village. Tamashi told the blonde why she was looking at him with pity. In some ways, they have a lot in common. So, Tamashi, what's your offer? Naruto asked. Tamashi said, we need someone like you for Guardian, a special forces unit that deals not only with ninja operations, but also with operations against supernatural threats to the leaf and the world. Why me? Asked Naruto, who was interested. Well, you're the best candidate for the unit because you're not only a superhuman fighter, but also an avenging angel. You're the kind of fighter I need against enemies who would severely hurt or kill normal ninja in battle, said Tamashi as Naruto dodged his leg sweep and thought about the offer. When do we start? Naruto asked, and Tamashi smiled at him from behind his mask to show that he agreed. As their swords hit each other, Tamashi got a small cut on his mask, and Naruto got a cut on the string that held his ponytail, which caused it to break and let his hair flow free. End of flashback. Tamashi thinks about his life as Tomi Tsurugi, a fierce street fighter and well-trained mercenary. After his father was killed by a eunuch when he was a young boy, he fought like a rebel for the rest of his life. He thinks back on his time as a maverick mercenary and remembers how exciting it was to fight on the battlefield and in the streets. He also remembers the one fight that started him on his new path as the masked warrior he is today, but also made him realize how much he had to learn as a fighter and a person. 5 years ago in Aimdecure, Tomi Tsurugi was standing over a group of aim ninjas who were armed with swords, kunai, nunchaku, and some wanted to fight him with nothing but their bare hands. All of the aim ninjas were either dead, beat, or somewhere in between. Some of them were even Jonin and Chunin. Tomi walks away and thinks, why do people think I'm easy to kill? I may not be good at jutsu, but I'm one of the toughest brawlers and high-class mercenaries in the world, and I can fight with the best of the best. As he walks through the streets, he has flashes of his childhood with his father and mother showing the happiness of a family. He also had flashes of the hellish path he went through after a corrupt eunuch framed his father for killing his mother and saw his execution. Training under a warrior assassin sect of Sohei and learning his father's fighting style, Windstorm Fist, was like hell on earth for him. He then sees a last flash of him killing the eunuch and his guards with his bare hands to get revenge for his family. All of a sudden, a man in a Konoha Jonin uniform with pale skin, long black hair, and golden eyes that look like snakes walks toward him, startling him out of his thoughts. What brings you here, Orochimaru of the Sannin? It's not like you to watch people fight on the street, Tomi asks as Orochimaru laughs. I'm interested in you and your genetics, Tomi Tsurugi. You're an apex fighter who doesn't use jutsus. You don't use chakra to make yourself stronger or faster. You just have natural athletic ability that seems superhuman. If you don't mind, I'd like to study your natural athletic ability, said Orochimaru, and Tomi could tell that the request was made with the intention to hurt him. Yes, I do, Orochimaru. I've heard the rumors about the experiments you've been a part of. I wouldn't want to get caught up with a crazy scientist with a fascination for genomes and genetic experiments, Tomi says as Orochimaru gets angry at both the refusal and the insult about his genius being compared to a madman. Before long, the two start fighting fiercely. Orochimaru used the Kusanagi sword, and Tomi used his own katana, which was a windbreaker. Both swordsmen hit each other with their swords and with their bare hands, but neither one gives an inch. As the two fight, a shadowy figure prepares a blowgun with a dart made by his master and points it at Tomi. As the two stop fighting so close together, the figure shoots the dart right at Tomi's throat. Tomi didn't see the dart coming and was hit right in the throat. As he pulls out the dart, his vision starts to blur and he loses feeling in his body. The fluid inside the dart puts him to sleep slowly but surely. 3 months have passed in Konoha. During the last few months, Orochimaru had cruelly experimented on Tomi while he was unconscious. He pumped him with unknown experimental chemicals that should have made him stronger, faster, and better at healing than before. But before Orochimaru could find out if the experimental treatments had helped Tomi, he was killed. Orochimaru hears an alarm go off and sees on the security camera footage that the Hokage and his Anbu found out about his illegal experiments and decided to stop him. Orochimaru took all of the information from the experiments he was doing and destroyed the rest. He then turns off Tomi's life support so that there are no loose ends. A group of Anbu led by Nico moves through the lab stations to see if there are any survivors. They find a man struggling to breathe in a test tube. Nico quickly jumps over and cuts the tube open to free the man. The man lays on the floor and begins to change, with his skin turning blue, his hair turning white, and his body becoming more athletic than before. He starts to say something, and then he passes away. The squad medic checks on Tomi because he doesn't feel a pulse. They are about to leave to look for anyone who might have made it. That is, until they hear what they think are coughs coming from behind them. Hokage-sama, we have a live adult male survivor from one of Orochimaru's experiments, Nico said through a link in her mask as she looked at Tomi, who had blue skin. Is he okay? Hiruzen asked over the comms link. Yes, Hokage-sama, he's fine. He died at first from what may have been a heart attack, but then he came back to life. The doctor is looking at him right now, said Nico. Hiruzen said, have him taken to the Anbu HQ and put under guard and restraint. I need to talk to him about Orochimaru. Nico then gave orders to take Tomi to the Anbu HQ. End of flashback. A few days later, he met the third Hokage, who told him where he was and how he was being used as an experiment. He was told how the enhancements had killed him for a short time and then brought him back to life. His hair is white and his skin is blue. Tomi was very angry at Orochimaru for messing with him and turning him into a monster. But a nurse told him that his new condition was more of a gift than a curse and that he shouldn't waste it. Hiruzen himself had offered Tomi a spot in Guardian, a special forces unit of the Leaf Village that deals with supernatural and shinobi level threats and needed a tough person for the job. Tomi thinks about everything that has happened in his life, from his father's death to his life-changing experience under Orochimaru's knife to dying and coming back to life. From that day on, Tomi's experiences gave him ideas for a new life. He decided to become an idealistic warrior who would fight for a good cause. He said yes, and from then on, that was the beginning of a man's journey to becoming the legendary ninja warrior guardian Tamashi, the Phantom Battle Swordsman. At the moment, Tomi thinks about when he was young and first joined the army. He also told them how he got his code name. Think back to 5 years ago. Tomi is in recruit training, where he is getting a feel for his new abilities. Do his gymnastics routines with the grace of a swan and lift weights with the strength and stamina of a great ape and lion. Many of the female Anbu nin are red in the face because of his good looks. Some of the men are amazed by how strong and tough he is. Bear points to the women in the room and says, "Hey, Tomi, there are a lot of female Anbu who like you." Nico didn't pay attention because she was with Hayate Gecko, the best swordsman in the village. Tomi says, "What else is new, Bear?" as he lifts a 4-ton ship engine over his head with some effort. Ryu gave the recruit a mission dossier for an alpine mission in Fire Country and said, "Here you go, recruit." His first job is to attack and kill all of the imps and hobgoblins at a base camp in the Alps of Fire Country. The mission was a once-in-a-lifetime chance to learn, because he had to fight the tough creatures with grit and determination. He used his sword, his shuriken, and his bare hands to fight and kill the creatures. After this mission, he went on to get much better at fighting and getting into fights. He started fighting vampires, werewolves, demons, and other monsters on missions that took him to places like the deserts of Wind Country, the Alps of Lightning Country, the City of Rain Country, and the forests of Bear Country and Fire Country. He has fought them in missions in those areas, and those battles have made him a fierce and famous warrior. Some people who saw Tomi fight said that he fought like a fighting spirit out for revenge. Because of this, the commander gave him the code name Tamashi for his tactics in raids and ambushes that caught people by surprise. The memory ends. Tamashi is lost in thought when an alarm goes off and tells him that there is something supernatural in the village besides Naruto. Tamashi puts on his armor and other gear, preparing for battle. Naruto again. When the group gets to the Hyuga compound, they see Hayashi Hyuga, the third Hokage, Suman Yuzuka, Hinata Hyuga, Inoichi Yamanaka, Shibaya Buram, and Nico. Naruto asks Jiji in a worried voice, "What's going on? Why is everyone here?" Hiruzen told Naruto and his group, "Naruto, Konohamaru has been taken by an unknown attacker who wants to fight you to the death." Here's a note, which shocked Naruto and his friends. Naruto picks up the note, which sets off a trap that gives him a unique chakra blocking seal that limits how much chakra he can use. Naruto is in so much pain that he is writhing until it stops. He then reads the note, which tells him where the battle will take place and how the seal will drain his chakra. Naruto was finally told that he was Yamada, an elite warrior of the Shinoi Shidahu. Hinata asked Naruto, "Are you okay?" as she looked at his tenketsu points, which were being pulled by the seal. Fu, who is also worried, moves toward her blonde love. This seal is the demonic consuming seal. It's eating away at my chakra reserves, and if I don't go to the battleground and beat Yamada, I'll die, Naruto said as he stood up and walked toward his home. Hiruzen asked in a worried voice, "Naruto, where are you going?" As Hinata and Fu walk toward Naruto, he says, "I'm putting on my battle gear and armor to face him. Let us help you fight him," Hinata says, and Fu nods in agreement. "No, he would kill Konohamaru if anyone came with me, so I'll have to go alone." "Don't worry, Konohamaru will be safe, I promise," Naruto said as he kissed Hinata and Fu on the lips and went to get his battle gear and armor. Hiruzen thought, "Good luck and Godspeed, Heavenly Punisher," as he told an Anbu team to keep an eye out for any other intruders in the village. Hayashi was interested and asked Hanabi, "What were you doing with Naruto anyway?" "I was trying to figure out what was so interesting about Naruto," to Hinata. "Now I know," Hanabi says as she watches the angelic-looking blonde walk toward his home and put on his weapons and armor. She thinks about his lecture and takes it to heart. He goes to the battleground and mentally gets ready for one of the hardest fights of his life. When he gets there, he sees Konohamaru tied up and bound. He calls out, "I'm here, Yamada. Show yourself." Silence falls over the area. "Do you fear me, warrior of the dark? Face me now," Naruto yelled, as the rain continued to fall silently until the dark warrior showed up far away. "I'm here, Namikaze. Free your apprentice, and face me, avenging angel, if you dare," Yamada said as Naruto slowly moved to free Konohamaru, sensing no danger from the bindings. He freed Konohamaru and told him to run to safety. As he did this, a huge samurai stood in front of Naruto, towering over him. "We finally meet. Now, get ready to die," Yamada said in a tone that would send shivers down the spine of a normal man. As he pulled out his huge sword and got into his battle stance, Naruto did the same. Before long, the wind picked up, and a wolf howl started what could be called one of the bloodiest battles in the history of shinobi and samurai. Naruto and Yamada began to fight, showing the skill and refinement of both warriors. Naruto is fighting the huge and surprisingly agile Yamada with a style that combines defense and counterattack. Yamada's use of blades shows that he has a very sophisticated way of fighting. As they fight, Konohamaru stayed behind to watch the fight. As the two continue to fight, it gets more and more intense. Naruto and Yamada manage to disarm each other of their respective sword. The two then begin to engage in fierce hand-to-hand combat. Yamada is fighting like a trained brawler and savage, but Naruto is fighting like a hand-to-hand combatant should, fighting with refined skill and honed instinct, using effective combinations of punches and kicks while mixing them up to wear down the dark warrior. Yamada goes into his berserker's rage and tries to adapt to the blonde warrior, but he is unsuccessful with his endeavors as he is being outmaneuvered and outfought by the angelic warrior, who's using the forms of Fanzakuen, Judo, Kenpo, Tekken, Boxing, Pao Chuan, Bartitsu, Kajukembo, and Hapkido, using all of the techniques and tactics to do some serious damage to the warrior of the dark landing combination and hits that Yamada has no answers for. Yamada, having enough of the battle of skill, transforms into his dark dragon state and starts to batter the young blonde around the arena. Naruto is struggling to get up to fight the dark dragon, but before the beastly dark dragon could deal the final blow, Naruto starts to glow, lighting up the night with a bright light. As the light fades, Naruto seems to be filled with some kind of pure ethereal energy. He jumps for his sword and gets ready to fight the dark dragon even harder. The battle is getting wilder by the minute. Konohamaru is shocked by what is happening. A hand grabs his shoulder and pulls him away from the expanding battle area. He looks up to see his grandfather and Tamashi along with the clan heads of the Inuzuka, Hyuga, a Burame, a Kimichi, and Yamanaka as they look on in awe at the battle. Naruto is climbing up the dark, many-headed dragon, slashing and stabbing at each head with unbridled ferocity and determination. Each head dies after being attacked. Suddenly, Yamada comes back to his human form, hurt and tired. Naruto lunges at Yamada with the speed and skill of an assassin, and with enough strength and technique, he cuts Yamada in half with a single strike of his sword. Soon you will die. After Yamada finishes his sentence, he dies. His body combusts into violet fire, leaving nothing but his sword. The ethereal energy surrounding Naruto dies down, and Naruto is on one knee panting as the demon-consuming seal releases, greatly restoring some of his health. The Konoha ninjas move towards Naruto and helps him to his feet. Hayashi checks his tenketsu points to see they are repairing and improving from such as a fierce battle. Naruto, my boy, you have shown yourself to be a brave warrior. Today, I thank you on behalf of the Sarutobi clan for saving Konohamaru, Hiruzen says as he bows to the angelic warrior. They walk back to the village with the healing but victorious angelic warrior, who thinks about what the former dark warrior said. Inside the Hyuga estate, the members of the Hyuga clan are walking around the compound to make sure everything is fine. But what they didn't see was a figure in dark urban camouflage and light-plated armor that looked like a certain shinobi from the past. On his utility belt and leg holster, he has a number of pouches that hold black twin batons. He moves like a panther through the compound to get to the older people's rooms. As he gets close to the quarters, he can smell something dark and bad. He hears grunts, beatings, and the sound of flesh being cut. The intruder knows that the Hyuga is known for putting a lot of emphasis on martial arts and proper behavior, not killing. He walks toward the room from which the sounds are coming. He can tell that a clever genjutsu is being used to hide the room. The figure looks into the room and sees a place where people train that looks like hell. Blood and dead bodies live in a pit where the bodies of members of the Hyuga branch can be seen. He sees members of the Hyuga main branch brutally training with branch members as training dummies, targets, and punching bags. They use Juuken to beat branch members up or kunai to pierce internal organs from a long distance. Some of the top players even use pills or needles to get steroid drugs into their bodies. But the main branch women in the far corner of the hidden training area are what catch his eye the most. These people from the main branch were using the women from the Hyuga branch as sexual playthings. The figure then uses the built-in camera on his helmet to take pictures of the crimes, the people who did them, and the pit full of dead Hyuga branch members. A fanatical sentry sees the figure and is about to sound the alarm when the figure suddenly appears behind the sentry. He puts what looks like a hidden blade on his wrist through the man's neck, killing him right away. The mysterious person then puts the man's body on top of the pile and sneaks away into the night without being seen. The day after, in Konoha, Naruto went to the dojo to work on his fighting skills. First, he worked on his unarmed fighting skills by using light shadow clones to practice each form. He then practiced his combat acrobatics, which showed off his superhuman speed and agility. He then worked on his jutsu hand signs, practicing each one. He finished his warm-up by practicing with his sword and other weapons, including a trident. He was almost done when he heard a scream from the front yard. When he gets to the front yard, he sees 10 armed ninja holding Karin by the blade. "Let her go now, and I might let you live," Naruto tells them. One of the men said with a shite-eating grin, "Sure, all you have to do is give up your claim to be the Hokage's son, and we'll let your whore go. You also have to stop calling yourself an avenging angel and start acting like the whipping demon you really are." That was the line that made his friends laugh the most. But that phrase made a very angry avenging angel let out a righteous desire to kill that made them shiver with deep-rooted fear. Naruto moves slowly forward with his trident. One by one, each of the intruding ninja attacks Naruto, but what they thought would be an easy win turned out to be a loss of life as Naruto killed each of them with his trident. Naruto asked Karin, "Karin, sweetheart, can you flare your chakra to get the Hokage here?" Karin did just that, but not before she kissed Naruto for saving her life. 4 minutes have passed. The Hokage went to the Namikaze home with a small group of Andu who had helped clean up the mess. Naruto had said that these men had broken into the house, held Karin at sword point, and demanded that he stop saying he was the Yondiame's son and the avenging angel. Hiruzen cleaned up the bodies and told them that he would look into getting rid of the shinobi who hate Kyuubi and have attacked him in the past. Then Hiruzen leaves with the dead ninjas' bodies. Before Naruto could put up his trident, Karin tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Yes, sweetheart. Do you need anything?" A curious Naruto turned around and looked at his lover with interest. Could you teach me what you know about martial arts? I came to ask you about this because you trained Fu, and I was wondering if you could train me, Karin said, touching her fingers together like another Hyuga. She thinks to herself that her village only used her as a source of energy and never really cared about giving her a lot of training in hand-to-hand combat. Naruto smiles at this and says while stroking her cheek, "Of course, darling, I'd do anything for you." After 1 month, Karin had learned Wing Chun, Dirty Wrestling, and Chin Na from Naruto. Each one showed Karin a different way to fight with her hands. From Wing Chun's focus on skill and technique to Dirty Wrestling's unusual street tactics to Chin Na's speed and accuracy, each style has its own style and focus. With all of these skills, Karin can now handle herself against a fighter who is almost as good as a cage. During the sessions, Karin and Naruto got closer and felt like they were getting closer as lovers. Karin had even asked Naruto what he wanted his future to be like. Naruto told her that he would protect the future of the leaf and the world with her and all of his future brides. He then told her that since he was immortal, he couldn't be a Hokage because he didn't have a death date, and that most of the villagers still hated the Kyuubi and couldn't see the truth. Karin knew this and took it to heart that she would also be able to live forever in some way. Karin had also thought about who would be Hokage instead of Naruto. Right now, Naruto is on his way to meet Konohamaru so that he can get more training. That is, until he hears a noise around a building's corner. He goes to see Konohamaru standing over a boy around Naruto's age who is wearing what looks like a cat suit and has makeup on his face. Konohamaru has the boy in a hammerlock, which surprises the beautiful girl with him who is wearing a black kimono with short sleeves and a red sash to hold it together. It had a slit that let her toned legs show. Putting on a pair of black gloves without fingers. She has 4 pigtails made of her sandy blonde hair. She has eyes the color of teal. As she was getting ready to pull out her battle fan, Naruto flashed up behind her, grabbed the fan, and put a sword to her throat. "Who are you, and why are you in Konoha?" Naruto asked in a firm but not angry way. "We're here for the Chunin exam, and my name is Temari Sabaku from Sunagakuyor," said Temari, who had just come out of hiding. Kenkuro said, "Hi, I'm Kenkuro Sabaku. Could you please get this kid from commando school off of me?" Naruto nodded for Konohamaru to let him up, so Kenkuro said, "I'm Kenkuro Sabaku." Naruto puts his sword back in its sheath and gives Temari back her battle fan. "You're quick and quiet," Temari says as she looks at the blonde in front of her, as if she wants to remember his face. She gets red in the face when she looks at his body and sees that he is well muscled and balanced, like an all-around athlete. Having long blonde hair like his, she looked at his blue eyes, which were fiery and brave, for just a moment. His face looked like that of a brave warrior prince. She could only think of, did Konoha call down a warrior angel from heaven? Because by Kami, he's hot. Forget hot, he's godly. Naruto winks at the Suna Kunoichi, making her blush a little more. "You can come out, you can't hide from me," Naruto said as a boy came down from the tree, drawing the attention of the 2 siblings, whose bodies showed fear. This boy has green eyes with black rings around them like tanukis. His hair is auburn. Love was written in kanji on his forehead. His clothes include a long-sleeved red coat and long pants. He wears 2 gray belts over his coat to hold up a big gourd on his back. Kenkuro, who was shaking with fear, said, "Gaara, I can explain." "Shut up, Kenkuro, or I'll kill you. You're a disgrace," Gaara said as he turned to look at Naruto. Gaara feels, or more like something inside him, that the blonde in front of him has a lot of power. Gaara said in a calm voice, "I'm sorry for what my brother did." "No harm done, right Konohamaru?" asked Naruto, who nodded his head. Gaara was interested and asked, "May I ask your name?" Naruto said sarcastically, "Isn't it proper to give your name first?" As Temari and Kenkuro shook slightly out of fear. "Again, I'm sorry. My name is Gaara Sabaku, and my siblings are from Sunagakuyor," Gaara said as he bowed in respect. This surprised both of his siblings, who wondered what kind of power could make the beast inside Gaara quiet down. Naruto said, "I'm Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze," which shocked all 3 of them. Kenkuro thought, "The avenging angel in front of us is every bit as good of a fighter as the reports say." Temari, who was blushing, thought, "Wow, he's the avenging angel. The stories don't do him justice at all. He's very handsome," as she admired Naruto's body and looks, which made her blush even more. Gaara looked at the angelic warrior as he was about to leave and thought, "Wow, this is the first time in years that she's been quiet." Naruto kisses Temari's hand, making her blush, and tells everyone, "Have a good day, especially you, beautiful." Naruto seems to be being watched by 2 different groups as he and Konohamaru leave. "So, that's the Namikaze's son. Doesn't he look good, Samui?" said a girl with dark skin and red hair. Yes, he does, in a way that reminds me of a fierce fighter. He seems like a gentleman, right, Yujiro? Asked the blonde girl, as the third girl in the group looks interestedly at the blonde. Well, kitten, if we have to kill him, let's see what kind of gear he has. I've always wanted to know what an avenging angel carries, says a voice that comes through telepathy in a sultry tone that makes the girl turn a bright red. The light showed that their headband was a picture of clouds. So that's that jerk's son. I can't wait to kill him and end his bloodline for good, whether he's an avenging angel or not, the man said as his female teammate looked at him in awe and wonder. The other man in the group, who looks like a tough guy, said, when I get my hands on him, I'm going to break his back over my knee. The light shows that they are wearing headbands with stones on them. Skip ahead one day. As Naruto walks toward the academy, he can feel that a genjutsu has been set up on the second floor. When he gets to the third floor, he sees a kunoichi with Chinese-style buns. Her outfit was a maroon high-collared long-sleeved shirt with maroon edges and a pair of maroon puffy hakama-style pants. She is wearing black gloves with no fingers. She is trying to get into a room guarded by genin, but there are actually Chunin and a henge. PSH, you, Naruto said to get her attention after one of them hit her back. Naruto tells her to be quiet and whispers, go upstairs, it's a genjutsu. This is the second floor, not the third. The girl, who can now sense the genjutsu, taps both of her teammates and tells them about the diversion, and they go upstairs. Even Naruto did the same thing. One of the girl with the buns teammates saw the blonde girl following them. He had bushy eyebrows and a bowl cut for his hair. He was wearing a green jumpsuit with arm and leg warmers. Our blonde warrior angel was looking at him with a fighter's eye. Naruto gets to a big area that is close to where the first part of the exam will take place. The boy seen with the teammate with the bun stops him from going up the next flight of stairs. It's nice to meet you, Namikaze-sama. My name is Rock Lee, and I'm happy to get to know you. I'd like to see and test your skills as a hand-to-hand fighter and martial artist. If that's okay with you, Lee says as he gets into his fighting stance. Sure, why not? Let's have a spar, Naruto says as he does the same. In a few moments, Naruto and Rock Lee start sparring, each fighting in their own style. He's using Goken. He's very skilled with the form. He's almost as fast as me. His punches are like stones being thrown by a slinger, Naruto thinks to himself as he avoids a high roundhouse kick. Rock Lee thought to himself as he dodged a cross aimed at his head. Wow, Naruto is faster than me. He's amazing at hand-to-hand combat. He's showing superb skill with what he learned on the street. I've seen a lot of street fighters, but Naruto has shown extraordinary skill in the way he handles himself against me. He changes his technique and form to deal with any tactic and technique I use. Naruto is throwing a combination of punches and kicks at the boy in green, some of which hit him. The boy in green rolls with the combination as he backflips away from Naruto and jumps back to do a dragon kick combination. The combo then hits Naruto, making him slide backwards. Naruto said, Great Rock Lee, your Goken skills are among the best I've seen, but we should probably get going so we don't miss the exams. Lee agreed with Naruto and stopped fighting so they could walk up the stairs as brothers in arms. As they walk into the exam room, the ninja with the stone insignia on their headbands, which only two of the males have, look at Naruto with a mix of awe, respect, anger, and hatred in their eyes. The woman is showing that she wants to be with the young blonde. Hinata Hyuga jumps on Naruto from behind, compliments his outfit, and hugs him. Hello, darling, it's been a long time, hasn't it? She says as she admires her lover. Shino and Kiba come up to him and greet him one at a time. Kiba asks Naruto, how are things going with you being the avenging angel? As Akamaru licked his face, Naruto said to Kiba and Akamaru, it's nice, Kiba. It's a long road for me, but it's a nice one full of adventures, isn't it, Akamaru? As he petted Akamaru, Naruto asked Shino, I can tell your bug colony is doing well. How is your queen? Shino said, pretty much, Naruto, you're just getting used to being an avenging angel. Though he was still surprised that Naruto came back to life as some kind of angelic warrior. Naruto, is that you? Asked a boy in samurai-style armor. He was big and strong, and his brown hair was long. He also has markings on his face, but they are not as strong or scary looking as Kiba's. Instead, they make him look happy. Hey, Choji, how have you been? Naruto asked as Choji, who had just shown himself, looked at him in shock. The boy walking up to him does, too. The boy next to Naruto asked, so, are the rumors true? Are you really an avenging angel? He looked like he wasn't trying very hard. He wears his black hair in a ponytail with spikes, wearing a raggedy tan jacket over a black t-shirt and tan pants. How are you doing, Shikamaru? It's nice to see you too. To answer both of your questions, though, My teammates killed me, and when I came back to life, it was as an avenging angel. A magical superhuman warrior like no other, Naruto said as his two friends looked at him in awe. Ino walks up to Naruto and says, "Hey, Naruto, how's it going?" In a calm, caring voice. Naruto was about to say hello to her when a voice said, "I would suggest you all keep it down unless you want to draw attention to yourself." Everyone looks at the boy who said that, who has long, silver white hair and a ponytail and is wearing a dark purple sleeveless shirt over a white long sleeve. "Oh, you're a loser, dude," Kiba said as Ino hit him on the head. "Baka, don't laugh. This test is about more than just fighting," Ino told him. "That's okay, I hear that a lot. But on the bright side, I learned about the competitions from last year and this year," Kabuto said. Shino, Shikamaru, and Naruto heard this as Kabuto kept talking. "I know about all the genin who are competing, even the ones from Konoha, with their mission reports and information about what they can do, as well as those from that new village sound," Kabuto says as he shows off some information cards. This gets the attention of two genin from Sound, who plan to embarrass the Konoha nin for what he said, until Naruto, who can see what they are planning, stares at them and pulls out a dagger with a curved blade and a serrated edge, telling them to do what they want at their own risk. Naruto starts to be suspicious of Kabuto because he has reports that only the Hokage can see. Naruto thinks to himself, this Kabuto character is suspicious because he has classified information. The girl with long, dark blonde hair in a braid, dark eyes, and red lipstick starts to walk up to Kabuto. She is wearing a dark purple and black short-sleeved blouse with black pants that have a design that looks like clouds. She also has fingerless gloves on her left hand with a blue bead chain and bandages on her arms and legs. The girl asked, "So, Kabuto Yakashi, tell me about the Avenging Angel of Konoha." "Hello, Yujiro Nyaikumo's Hellcat and Jinchuriki of the Two Tails Monster Cat. It's nice to meet you." Well, the Avenging Angel of Konoha, or Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze as he is better known, is a boy who had a bad start in life. But his wave team turned on him and killed him. He came back to life in a mysterious way as some kind of superhuman warrior with great fighting skills, said Kabuto, getting a curious look from Yujiro Nyai, who had just shown himself. "What are his battle stats?" Yujiro asked, and the genin with silver hair gave him a curious look. "Sure, his Taijutsu is AA+, his Kenjutsu is AAA, his Genjutsu is unknown, and his Ninjutsu is unknown. The style of fighting looks like a mix of martial arts and street fighting. He has killed 256 people for sure, and Iwa has put a reward of 12 million ryo on his head, dead or alive. He's also applied to the CRA," Kabuto said. This made the Kumo Kunoichi look surprised and red in the face. "Well, kitten, it looks like you'll have to share the hot warrior with other tigresses. But hey, maybe you can have him all to yourself in the survival part of the exam," the fire cat inside Yujiro said telepathically to her. "Not now, Nebai," Yujiro replied telepathically to her Biju. "All right, roaches, sit down. Go to your seats," said a man with scars on his face who was dressed like a certain vampire hero. "My name is Morino Ibiki, and I will be the proctor for the first phase. Let's start the Chunin tests with a written test. So, don't cheat, and if you score lower on your test than your teammates, your team fails," said the scared Jonin as some people complained about the rules for this part of the exam. As everyone starts the written exam, the Konoha 10 wonder what the hell is Naruto doing. Some of them think this because Naruto is checking his weapons and equipment like it's something to do. Ibiki walks up to him and asks, "What the hell are you doing, Namikaze?" He says, "I'm checking my weapons and equipment for the second part of the exam," which makes some of the genin spit themselves. "Not checking for weapons and gear," Ibiki said in an angry voice. "Oh, actually, I'm done." People are surprised by how quickly Naruto finished his test. "See," he says as he shows it to the scarred Jonin in front of him. He's the calm in the middle of all the chaos. "I really feel bad for the enemy he has to face," Ibiki thought as he looked at the blonde and checked his long sword to make sure it was sharp. Soon, people figured out something about the test and started cheating in secret. Some people are dropping out of the test like flies because they were caught cheating, but there is still a large group of people from many villages taking the test. "Okay, time for the 10th question," said Ibiki as it gets nearly everyone on high alert, with some wondering what the 10th question would be. "You can't do that," a genin with no name said. "I'm the judge of my round, and you're following my rules. Now, if you want to be able to become a Chunin next year, you should drop out now and save your team's chances of getting promoted," said Hiruzen as some of the genin team started to drop out and leave the room while the rest of them stayed. Ibiki sees Naruto's hands start to rise, which surprises some, but what happens next is what surprises everyone. Naruto slams his hand into the desk, breaking it. Ask question number 10. I don't worry about being stuck as a genin for the rest of my life. Even if I'm a genin for life, I'll still be kicking asses as an immortal avenging angel. I've already killed a dark dragon, and I'm still looking for the hardest and fiercest battle of my life, Naruto said in the most intense and determined way anyone had ever heard. Some people looked at the blonde with a lot of respect for his courage and willpower. Yujiro thought to Matabi, this angel of vengeance has some steel in his balls, doesn't he? Matabi nodded to agree. This jackass has balls. The Iwanin looked at him with grudging respect and thought, too bad I'm going to get them all over the ground. Hinata thought, I can't wait for our wedding night. Temari and the girl from Oto have similar ideas about how they would act in the sack with the blonde in question. After hearing this speech, some of the genin who didn't quit get their backbone back, and they call out to answer the 10th question. Ibiki said, all right, you all pass, which made almost everyone in the room shout, WHAAT. There wasn't a 10th question. The point was to see who could go all the way and not break under pressure or torture, and how carefully you could get information to your teammates without getting caught, as well as not betraying your team to the enemy. As everyone in the room, including Naruto, watches, their eyes tell them what they need to know about what it means to be a Chunin, how important it is to gather information for any mission, and how hard the enemy will work to get it. Before Ibiki could say anything else, a blur jumped through a window before he could say anything else. The sexy and single Anko Mitarashi is written on a banner as the woman shows herself. Her outfit consists of a tan trench coat over a short-sleeved metal mesh shirt, metal pants with a dark orange miniskirt over them, and light gray shin guards over her sandals. She was tall and thin, with a few curves. She wears a purple ponytail with spikes in it. Ah, Anko, you're early. When you come in, at least don't mess things up, Ibiki said with a shrug, since he was used to the rich woman in front of him. Yeah, but I want to surprise them. I'm a wild woman. You know, Anko said as she looked around the room and saw that there were still a lot of genin there. She makes a sound. Huh, Ibiki, there are still a lot of gakis in here. You must have lost touch. Well, they had a lot of confidence this year, Ibiki said in a casual way as Anko looked around for Naruto. So he's the avenging angel I've been hearing about. He has a terrible past, just like me. I wonder if I could ask him out on a date, since he's in the CRA, Anko thought as she looked at the angelic blonde. Okay, everyone, meet at training ground 47 in the morning. And don't be late, said Anko as she left the room in a shunshin. The Iwa Nin then stops Naruto all of a sudden. The Nin asked Namikaze in a threatening voice, can you bleed? Not easily, Naruto says as he walks away. Soon you will, shouts a ninja. Ibiki goes to get the tests, and as he does, he sees Naruto's being filled out and a note to him about a genin named Kabuto. Ibiki figures out what the message means and tells the Hokage what he has learned. At night in Konoha, where Hyuga lives, the mysterious person is back in the Hyuga compound. But this time he or she is going deeper into the elder quarters. As he walks around the older parts of the compound, he feels a presence there that he has never felt before. He looks inside the room and sees something that horrifies and shocks him. In that room, he sees Hinata's and Hanabi's mother in what looks like a test tube that keeps her alive. Seeing 6 guards and 2 scientists in the room. Almost immediately, he pulls out a special grenade and throws it into the room. It goes off and something like a sleeping gas is released, which knocks out all of the Hyuga. They'll be out for 2 hours. Now it's time to save a pretty girl, thought the mysterious figure as he slowly moved toward Hitomi Hyuga's containment unit. He looks at the charts to find out what the Hyuga would kill to keep quiet about. He also went to copy and download illegal information from their computer's mainframes. He also finds 2 names that the figure would have to think hard about. He then opens the box and takes the unconscious woman with him while covering her with a special cloak, both out of respect and to be quiet. He then jumps into the night with the Hyuga maiden. On training ground 77, all of the genin are waiting for the proctor in a forest with many gates. All of them can't wait for this part of the test to start. Naruto is taking a second look at his gear and weapons. Away from the crowd, he starts to do his katas with his long sword, doing every sweep and recovery roll over and over again. But he's not the only one who's watching him, the Kumo trio is too. Karui, the red-haired girl, is very interested in his sword and how he holds it. It's interesting that his kenjutsu style is different from most. Instead of using fast or complicated moves, it seems to focus on strength and fluidity. His sword looks like a tsurugi, but it's much thicker and heavier than any I've seen. How is he using a blade that heavy? Thought Karui as she saw him sheath his sword. So, you can feel us. That's pretty cool, to say the least. It's true that Konoha has an angelic warrior, but I never thought it would be Yondieme's son. who died and came back to life as a sort of warrior angel, Yujiro said as she walked up to him and around him, looking at his body and petting his arms and chest. So, you're Kumo Yujiro Nai's Hellcat. Your reputation as a highly skilled and fierce kunoichi doesn't match your beauty, he says. Yujiro laughs at the compliment. Samui said to Namikaze, aren't you a charmer? As she gets closer to him. Anyone who wanted to be a pervert could look at Samui's outfit. But Naruto isn't just trying to be a pervert. Samui's outfit had a low neckline that showed off her large cleavage. It was made of mesh armor, and she wore a modified flak jacket over it. She also wore a short skirt, high boots, and red hand guards. Who might you be? Naruto asks another beautiful woman as he looks her in the eyes. Samui said, I'm Samui from Kumagakure. Well, it's nice to meet three beautiful kunoichi, Naruto said as Samui, Yujiro, and Karui blushed. He then looked at Karui, who introduced herself by saying, I'm Karui of Kumagakure. Her outfit consists of the typical Kumo flak jacket over a sleeveless dress, high thigh boots, and a Kumo forehead protector that looks like a bandana wrapped around her red hair. Naruto is wondering if he really did just find another Uzumaki who moved to Kumo. But he didn't believe it because Karui's hair was a darker shade of red. Thank you for liking my sword style, Karui. It's very flattering to know that a beautiful woman like you appreciates the art of the sword, Naruto says to Karui, who blushes even more at the compliment. I can't wait to fight it, Karui said as Naruto raised his sword and walked away. The three kunoichi could only think, a gentleman for sure. 12 minutes have passed. Anko had said that the second phase was a survival phase where the goal was to get the other team's scroll and go to the tower in the forest. It is okay to kill, but you only have 5 days to do it. Anko even went behind the genin who said that the forest was just a trick made with genjutsu. She scratched his cheek and said, genin like you get killed here a lot. You're the kind of person who dies first, while licking the blood off his cheek. But Naruto feels like the kunoichi who gave Anko's kunai back with her long tongue is up to no good. He gets the feeling that this kunoichi isn't who she says she is. Everyone goes to get their scrolls, and then they go to the gate that was given to them. Naruto goes to the gate that has a symbol that looks like his armor at home. Naruto says to himself, hahaha, Jiji is so funny and nice, as he gets ready for the survival part. When the horns sound, the doors open. Anko and Naruto both said, let the games begin, at the same time, as all of the genin rushed into the forest of death with a deep commitment in their hearts, and some of them with a desire for revenge. After a few hours, many genin began fighting over the scrolls of either heaven or earth. As everyone else tries to get a scroll, Naruto jumps from tree to tree, widening his senses every 50 meters. He sees a group of genin and jumps in their direction when he spots them. Teammate had sneaked up on a team from Taki and beat them up badly, but they were still alive. Damn, there's no heaven scroll. I hope Naruto is okay, Kiba said as they made sure that the Taki nin were safe from other teams and animals. Team 10 had found a good place to rest and plan attacks on weaker teams that had the scrolls they needed. Naruto is staying in the forest to try to help the other Konoha nin do well. But all of a sudden, a gust of wind hits Naruto from behind. But that gust of wind was different. As Naruto stood up to fight, the grass kunoichi said, ah, so the avenging angel is still alive. Yamada has a reputation for being a fierce fighter, but you're still alive. So, are you going to fight or talk all day, grass nin, or should I say Orochimaru? Naruto asked as the grass kunoichi took off the mask to reveal a pale-skinned man with long black hair and snake-like eyes. So, a genin, especially a former Kyuubi brat, knows who I am. What gave you a hint? Asked Orochimaru, looking at the blonde with interest. Well, it's not hard because, besides Anko, only one other person in the leaf has the snake contract. Plus, you, Orochimaru, are the only one besides King Komodo who has strong reptilian traits. So, what do you want? Asked Naruto, who thinks to himself on how to fight Orochimaru. Well, simple, I want to take your body and turn it into my new vessel, said Orochimaru as he gets into his battle stance, drawing his Kusanagi, with Naruto doing the same with him getting out a set of batons. Not a chance, Snake Eyes, you not getting my body to be used as a vessel for suffering, said Naruto as he prepares to fight a fierce battle against a well-known S-ranked criminal. Naruto is confident in his swordsmanship, but most of the opponents he's faced have been berserkers, not masters of the sword. He attacks Orochimaru with measured kicks and swings with his batons. Orochimaru defends well and counters with a swipe at Naruto's neck, which Naruto avoids. Naruto jumps over Orochimaru and catches him with a low spinning heel kick, which knocks him to the ground. Orochimaru rolls back to his feet, moves away, and sends out some long-range jutsu. Shadow Snake Hand Jutsu, shouted Orochimaru as small snakes flew out of his sleeves and toward Naruto, who began to cut and slice through the stream of snakes. Naruto calls out Wind Cannonball as he sends 6 spheres of pressurized air and wind at Orochimaru, who dodges them with the agility and fluidity of a snake. The two get back into close combat, and Naruto keeps throwing Orochimaru for a loop with his freestyle style of fighting, which is hard for him to deal with. But soon your body and power will be mine, said Orochimaru. There's no way, snake breath. I don't swing that way, and I'm interested in women, so back the hell up, says Naruto as Orochimaru growls at the jab at his sexuality. They fight again, with Orochimaru being put to the test by a worthy opponent. People are watching this fierce battle. The trio from Kumo and the Kunoichi from Iwa are looking on in awe. Well, Kitten is definitely a warrior like no other, Matabi says in Yujito's head. Your children will be strong, as she watches the battle. It's crazy that he's fighting Orochimaru like he's an equal, thought Karui as she looked at the blonde. She'd seen intense battles between ninjas before, but never between ninjas of such a high level. Cool, said Samui as she watched the fight go on. The Iwa Kunoichi looks at him, not in anger, but in a way that is strange for an Iwa Kunoichi. Naruto and Orochimaru attack each other with a fierceness that mortals can't match. In a split second of a blade lock, Orochimaru stretched out his head to bite Naruto. Naruto grunts in pain as he feels a stinging sensation at the back of his neck and drops his guard, allowing Orochimaru to put a seal on him that greatly weakens him. However, Naruto sends out a powerful Orochimaru runs away from the battle area with a smile on his face. Naruto is still standing, but his wounds are healing much more slowly than they used to, and he is getting tired. Naruto leaves to find a safe place to stay for the night. In a room in Konoha that no one knows about, a woman with hair the color of the night sky is beginning to wake up. She is slowly but surely moving around in her bed and waking up. As she looks around, she sees a strange-looking man with a tray of food waking her up. Ah, Hitomi Ba-chan, it's good that you're awake, the figure said as he smiled at the Hyuga woman. Who are you? Hitomi, who was confused and a little scared, asked. The figure takes off his helmet and shows himself to be Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. And Minato, you're still alive? Hitomi asked as she looked at Naruto and thought he was his father. I'm not my father. I'm Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, and I'm not the real Naruto. I'm a light clone. The real Naruto is taking the Chunin exam right now. I think there's a story behind how you look, Hitomi asked Naruto, who was ready for a long answer. Back in Death's Forest, Naruto found a safe place to spend the night. He sets up a number of traps so that he can't be easily bothered. He feels a sharp, irritating pain in his neck all of a sudden. Naruto thought to himself, Arg, I feel like another presence is trying to take over. My healing is taking longer than usual, and I'm getting tired. It's like he injected a virus into my system, and then he remembered something Orochimaru had said. He keeps telling himself that Orochimaru needs him as a vessel. He thought about how he could do it. Then, as he takes off the 5-prong seal, he thinks of one possible answer. He thinks about the skills Orochimaru has that don't have to do with fighting. From being the summoner of snakes to a genius in genetics and other sciences to a skilled user of Fuinjutsu, he has done it all. So, the snake put a seal on his bite that lets him move his mind from one body to another. This bite is where he put the seal, which is interesting. Naruto then used all of his chakra control to make a copy of himself out of light so he could take pictures of the sealing mark and see what it looked like. The clone gives the picture to Naruto. Wow, that's an amazing design. It looks like he combined Fuinjutsu with the Senjutsu chakra he absorbed to make it strong enough to transfer his consciousness. But that's not all, it looks like it has a soul fragment, which might explain why I feel like someone is in my mind. It looks like the seal's design is to inject the soul fragment's influence into the subject's body, erasing the subject's soul, and putting Oro in a split second. Naruto was in his mindscape. When he looked around, he saw a place that was a mix of places he had seen in his world and places Richard the Lionheart had seen. As he moves toward the center, he sees a warrior with Oni-like ninja armor. Naruto goes into his fighting stance right away when he realizes that this is the soul fragment that is trying to get it. The two start to fight with their hands, and the soul fragment fights with Snake Fist. Naruto strikes quickly and hard with Fanzaquin and Kenpo. Organs are crushed and bones are broken. The Orochimaru fragment is powerful, but it is only a small part of the whole. Then, a low leg sweep knocks it to the ground. Naruto then jumps on top of the fragment and, using enough strength and skill, breaks its neck. This destroys the fragment and cleans Naruto away from the mindscape. The Oto team looks in the direction of the tree where Naruto is hiding and sitting. A boy in a hapuri said, "Let's go take care of this avenging angel. Let's be careful. We don't know anything about his jutsu arsenal." It could be stronger than your air cannons, Zaku. Let's fight smart on this, said the boy in the mummy costume as the girl with long hair nodded in agreement. Fine, we'll do it your way, Dasu, says Zaku as he and Naruto sit in a meditative position and look at each other. And Kurama and her boyfriend, Tozen, are in a room making plans for building a house if they decide to start a family. Kurama is glad she found a man who doesn't look down on her because of her past. Kurama looks at Tozen and thinks, man, I'm the luckiest woman in the world to have a man like Tozen-kun. He's strong, kind, and knows how to make a woman happy. I hope the future will be bright and good. Kurama said, Tozen, sweetheart, why don't we take a break? You've been making these plans for the last 6 hours, so you must be hungry. Tozen thought about it and shrugged his shoulders as an answer. The two go to the kitchen to get something to eat.
I will continue the story in next part. Till then, we weeb offline.